Welcome, foolish mortals. Don't mind the glasses. I just, my eyes were a little red. Just because I didn't get enough sleep. Not for any other reason. Okay, so today, do I have some tea for you? Some paranormal tea. Okay, I'm going to take these off so we can get into it. Face reveal. Before I even get into it, I might mispronounce a lot of words. I'm going to do my best, so just don't mind me, okay? These are real life events, or events that took place in real life. Allegedly. Let's remember throughout this video, everything I say is alleged, okay? So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be sharing a story with you regarding the possession of an entire convent of nuns. Yes, nuns, like nuns, okay? That is why I did pigtails. I was trying to be like nice and innocent. We all know I truly am innocent. So this is one of the most famous cases of exorcism in history. This story inspired Aldous Huxley's book in 1952 titled The Devils of Loudun, or Loudun. And the film The Devils that came out in 1971. The convent of Ursuline. Again, I'm sorry. I'm not the smartest pea in the pot. I may mispronounce a lot of things, but I'm doing my best. So the convent of Ursuline is located in a French town by the name of Loudun, I don't know. This convent had a total of 17 nuns, with Mother D'Agnes, I believe she was the Mother Superior. Okay, Mother Superior D'Agnes. Okay, now D'Agnes, or Mother Superior, I'm just gonna refer to her as Mother Superior because I know I'm probably butchering her name. So Mother Superior was said to be very smart, okay? And she was able to become Mother Superior at the young age of 27. So if you think about it, 27, that's pretty young for her to become the Mother Superior, okay? Now, she is one of the main characters in this story, along with Urban Grandier. Let me tell you about Urban Grandier. Okay, ladies, take a seat. Gentlemen, if you have your lady with you watching this video, keep a close eye on her, because Urban Grandier, let me tell you, ladies man right here, okay? Ladies a man. Urban Grandier was a priest, but not just any priest, or not just any ordinary priest, okay? He believed that priestly vows of celibacy were unrealistic and could not be honored, okay? He was smart, educated, charismatic, okay? Oh, and I almost forgot like the most important adjective that describes him. He was sexy. Okay. He was sexy. I'm going to put a picture of him right here. This was sexy back then. This right here. Mwah, sexy. He was like the Bad Bunny of his time. Porque hoy tiene una, mañana otra. Ey, me la voy a llevar a toda. Un VIP. Okay, let me get myself together again. Okay, because he is challenging kind of the norms and the views of the church, he was quick to make enemies, okay? He wasn't doing things by the book, by the rules. Just because he's the simple fact that he's like, oh, celibacy is not realistic for a priest. Like, I don't think that should apply. If I want to be a priest, I should be a priest, but also be allowed to, you know what I'm saying? To... Let's keep it PG. He had numerous affairs, allegedly. He even married a woman by the name of Madeline. So he marries this woman, but obviously, because priests aren't technically supposed to get married, they're not. He knew no other priest would want to marry them. So he was the groom during that wedding and the priest. So he was like, do you, Madeline, take me? How can you say no to this, girl? So basically, he was the priest, and you know what I mean? And he married himself to this woman, basically. He was wildin'. He even fathered a child with a woman named Philippa Trinkant. Philippa. Let's just call her Philippa. Okay, so let's remember that name, Philippa. Okay, she was the daughter of the king's solicitor. And so not only is he making just any enemies, he's making some powerful enemies, okay? Never a good idea. Never a good idea. Now, news about news about this priest spread pretty fast, especially amongst the ladies. He was like the male Sigma. Is that what it's called? What is this? And Mother Superior, De Agnes, you remember her? She hears about him. Oh yes, she hears about him. She hears a lot about him probably. And she decides to offer or invite him to be the confessor. Like I believe that's what it's called. The priest who does the confessions, or who's in charge of that. So anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. She invites him, sends him an invitation like, hey, you want to be the confessor or the / kind of spiritual guide at our convent? And for some reason or another, Father Grandier politely declines the offer. Again, why? I'm not sure. I've been invested. I've been researching in multiple sources, reading books, including in the book that I mentioned in last week's video. What did I say in last week's video? This story is also in there. I read that story and I was just literally like, oh, like out loud. And everyone around me was like, what are you reading? And I'm like, girl, let me tell you. So I don't know the exact reason. In some sources or in some places that I researched, it was said that he declined because he found out that she had a slight hunchback, and so he was like, no. And then in other places that I read, or other things that I read, it just said he basically declined just because he kind of had other things going on. So for whatever the reason was, he politely declines her offer. Okay, so he's like, oh, thank you, but no, basically. Okay. And in my mind, this probably pissed Mother Superior off. Are you kidding me? She was probably kind of like, what? No one says no to me. I'm Mother effing Superior. I'm that bitch, you know? Okay, I'm sorry. This is a story that revolves around like nuns and religions. I don't mean to just be disrespectful. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be more serious. So she's that bitch. Okay. So after he politely declines her offer, I don't know if politely, but he declined her offer. Okay. For whatever reason that may have been, Mother Superior, Mother Superior, okay, all of a sudden starts feeling all certain types of ways, okay? She even confessed to Canon Jean Mignon, to this guy, okay? She confesses to him. But wait. Before I tell you what she confessed, Jean Mignon, I'm just going to call him Mignon. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names, but he was the director of the convent. And get this. Not only was he the director of the convent, but he was a Felipa's cousin. Y'all remember Felipa? The girl he got. That's her cousin. Okay. And obviously he's an enemy to Grandier. Okay. For obvious reasons. Mignon was the one that began performing the exorcisms. I need you to process this. Are we on the same page still? Mignon, Felipa's cousin. He's the director of the convent. Mother Superior is mad because Father Grandier rejected or declined her offer to become the confessor of the church. She's upset. So, okay, are you following? I hope so. The exorcisms lasted for months, okay? And they were even held in public. Remember, Grandier had a lot of enemies, so they took this opportunity to really condone him. So they're like, let's just do it. Let's do these exorcisms out there for everyone to see so they can see the evil of Grandier. So people, are probably saying, hey, did you hear about the nuns who are all possessed and they're performing the exorcisms in public? So there they all go, right? Because people would hear about them and, they'd probably say, hey, I want to go see an exorcism being performed on a nun. And the goal of the exorcisms ended up not being so much to help the nuns, but rather to indict Grandier, to kind of get him, to nail him, to, you know what I mean? Could you imagine this taking place now, though, if you're just out going for a jog and you see just like a full-blown exorcism taking place and you're like, oh, So basically, Mother Superior is the first to kind of come forth. So she basically described having sexual fantasies about Grandier, and she blamed it on his sorcery. She's like, sorcerer. And then after Mother Superior, all the other 17 nuns followed. Or excuse me, 16. I don't know. It was 17 nuns total. So that would be 16 plus 1, 17. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, all the other nuns claim to feel supernatural disturbances. Supernatural disturbances. There's a disturbance in the force. Okay. I think the priest was just making them all feel some type of way, if you know what I mean. Mignon was even able to retain confessions, not only from Mother Superior, but from several of the nuns, okay? And they all stated that Grandier had bewitched them, okay? The priest is to blame, okay? Because they weren't feeling this before. This must be him. See, this is where it gets tricky. Was it a real possession, or was it Mother Superior just kind of trying to get back at Father Grandier? That's where the real question lies. We don't know. But at the end of this video, you can tell me what conclusion you came to, okay? So let me tell you a little more, little further details. Sister Clara de Sicily, Sister Clara, was questioned in Turkish, Spanish, and Italian, and all her answers were correct. And if you guys remember, one of the signs of possession is having the ability to speak in a variety of different languages, especially languages that you've never studied or learned. Okay. Some doctors even questioned several of the nuns in Greek. Like the Greek they were using wasn't just like basic Greek, allegedly. Okay. They were speaking like very, I don't know, advanced Greek. You guys get what I'm saying. But the nuns would express understanding to this language. So that kind of made him assume, whoa, no, yeah, definitely, they're possessed, okay? Now, orders would be given in difficult Latin as well. And the demons, allegedly, that were possessing these nuns would perform what was asked. So they would say, hey, give me a high five. I don't know, in Latin, something. They would say in Latin, and the nuns would be like, yay. They'd be like, whoa, how'd they understand that? Because they're possessed. Okay. Now, they would, the nuns would convulse and strike their chests and backs with their heads as if their necks were broken. They twisted their arms at the joints of the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist 2 or 3 times around. So like wild, right? Like contortioning kind of thing, like crazy things with your body. Remember, we talked about this in last week's video with the possession symptoms, like contortion and all that crazy stuff, okay? They would also lie on their stomachs and join their palms to the soles of their feet. Oh, like a back bend, maybe? I think that's what they meant. I'm not sure. Okay. But also their tongues would be black, swollen, and covered in pimples. They would throw their hands back until it touched their feet and walk in this position with rapidity and for long periods of time. So kind of like the Exorcist, basically, like the back bend when she's walking down the stairs. You know what I'm talking about? That scene. Yeah. So they were doing some pretty wild stuff. Okay. Now they uttered horrible cries and even made indecent expressions, especially for a nun. Remember, for nuns to be saying certain things, and other priests even ended up joining to help assist through the exorcisms. Okay. Now a nun by the name of Francois Filestro would have different voices coming out of her body, out of her, or different voices could be heard speaking simultaneously, so kind of at the same time, different voices going off and kind of quarreling. So kind of like having this fight, this discussion, this debate amongst each other. So all these voices are coming out of her, all while her mouth remained closed, allegedly. Okay. Now, Elizabeth Blanchard, another one of the nuns, would have her feet in the air and her head on the ground, leaning on a chair or window without any other support. I'm trying to like picture that and visualize that. Okay, so then Mother Superior, remember, Miss Mother Superior, she allegedly even levitated 24 inches off the ground. 24 inches. So I don't know, like what, like from here to like here's like 12 inches probably, right? That might not be 100% accurate. So like 24 inches, like that's a significant amount of, space, a significant amount of height to levitate. Her levitation allegedly was witnessed by multiple witnesses. Y'all get it? There was multiple witnesses allegedly, including ecclesiastics. Now, why would I write this word down and not go and look up what that means? I'm gonna look up what it means and insert it somewhere here. Okay, my apologies. But yeah, this was supposedly witnessed by them and also doctors. Okay, now after all these exorcisms were done, the devil promised he would leave a mark or a sign, 3 marks to be exact, 3 marks on Mother Superior. Okay, so not on anyone else, but on Mother Superior specifically, and left as a sign of exit. So after a certain exorcism, the way that the priest would know that the demon was gone was because it would leave 3 marks on Mother Superior. Okay, and then on a particular day, she in fact did have 3 bloody wounds, but she also did have scissors on her. But other than that, no other weapons were found. So I don't know. You guys, come to your own conclusion. There was also this test box supposedly containing a religious relic that was placed in front of Mother Superior, kind of like a test, right? And she immediately reacted, kind of wildly and started convulsing. But the box was actually empty. After all of this, okay, finally Grandier does get arrested and he is tortured. And I mean tortured. This man was, the things they did to this man, okay. The torture was brutal, okay, brutal. Some of the torture included him being repeatedly stabbed with a needle, okay, and there was a supposed written pact that was allegedly signed by Grandier and several demons. So not just one demon, not just 2, several demons. I don't know where this pact came from, where this documentation came from. Probably someone faked it, most likely, but okay. Supposedly they found it and they said this proves that in fact he is a sorcerer and he's in cahoots with the demons and the devil and who knows what else. Okay, now allegedly when he would be stabbed and poked in certain parts of his body, he would not react, and they would say, see, he can't even feel pain because he's made a pact with the devil and the demons. But I mean, if he was being repeatedly stabbed over and over, his body probably just went into shock. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's why he wasn't responding. But they believed it was due to him being in works with the devil, and that's why he couldn't experience pain. But whatever. Now, once the nuns realized, I think, and this is just my humble opinion, but they're seeing him getting tortured now. They're hearing this, like shit's getting real. And once they saw this, some of the nuns even recanted. Is that how you say it? Some of the nuns recanted their confessions, but it was too late. So some of them, after they noticed that Grandier is getting tortured so badly and, that the torture is so brutal, now some of them are feeling bad and saying, hey, no, just kidding. Haha. It was a joke. It wasn't for real. But because a lot of Grandier's enemies want him probably gone, or you know what I'm saying, what they said was like, no, what's happening is actually that these are lies coming from the demons that are possessing the nuns. So if the nuns would try to recant or take back what they said about Grandier, they'd be like, that's the demons trying to protect him. So we still gotta proceed with the torture and everything. So can you imagine, some of the nuns are now feeling bad. Probably they're conscious, or they're feeling a bit guilty, and they're like, oh, JK, it was all a joke. But they're like, no, It's the demons that are telling you to say that. This is real. You know what I mean? Now, in August 1634, Grandier was burned at the stake. So he was burned like a witch, like a sorcerer. Throughout these exorcisms, several skeptical physicians, who observed the exorcisms believed that the nuns were suffering from furor uterinalis. They were suffering from this, and I looked it up, and this is a medical notion where agitation of the uterus could cause emotional and mental problems as well as disordered sexuality. So again, I think Father Grandier was he was too much for them. Like they didn't know how to deal with the things he was making them feel, with the emotions, with the, you know what I mean? I don't know. Now, these skeptical physicians also said that the social psychology of convent life with the spiritual worldview of early modern Europe could also have attributed to the belief of demonic possession. Now, so you have those people on this side, the skeptics, saying, no, this was not possession. These nuns just didn't know how to deal with the feelings and emotions that he was making them feel. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you have a counselor, Form Laflech. He observed the exorcisms. I believe it's a he. Sorry if it's not. I'm so sorry. But claimed that they were genuine, as the nuns could speak in multiple languages, including those of indigenous people. He also claims, it is a he. Okay. He also claims to have witnessed levitations. He claims the Agnes, Mother Superior, balanced on one elbow. But again, that could be just a possible illusion created by, the concealing of a habit. Yeah. There was something else that I don't remember where I read it, but it said the nuns actually looked healthier than ever after the exorcisms were performed because they were doing all this. It's like a workout. They were like, how to get in shape, fake a possession. Actually, that would be very demanding on the body to be doing all that stuff. So I don't know. Just saying. But anyways, yeah, that's the story. Did I do a good job of telling it? Who knows? I probably didn't. When I edit this video, I'll do my best to kind of edit it in a way that makes more sense, because I just get so excited and so passionate. Because when I read the story, I was like, what? Whoa, what? There was a priest who was having babies and getting married and making all sorts of women feel all sorts of different ways that they didn't even know what to do with themselves. So they just claimed he was a sorcerer and a witch because they were feeling some type of way. And then when they would perform the exorcisms, they'd be out in public for people to see, for anyone to see. And the nuns would be like moaning and doing these things that nuns aren't supposed to be doing. Wild times, wild times. All right, but you guys let me know your opinions, your thoughts down in the comments below. And what is up with my bangs today? This whole time they were just disregard. Okay, I'm having an off day. Not an off day. I'm always off. I don't know. Something's just off in general with me. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think. What was going on? Was this a real possession or okay? Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap it up at that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in a future video. Ciao. ¿Ya se me acabó?